A genuinely shocking new member of the Bloodline. Jade Cargill wins WWE Gold in her third WWE match, and further proof that European crowds are better than American ones, even in a country like France, which no one likes. Little bit of friendly European banter there. Bonsoir, my YouTube chums. This is my review of Backlash France in about 10 minutes.
Support WrestleTalk!
The show opened with the Bloodline taking on the team of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, which broke out into a brawl before the bell even sounded. Security and producers tried to break this up. Where are you, Petey Williams? And Nick Aldis came out to make this a no DQ street fight. While that was all a lot of fun, the main story and what everyone is talking about was the crowd. This capacity crowd, the largest WWE arena gate in history, thanks in part to the average ticket price being reportedly $300, were electric for the whole night. Dan Layton and I spoke about this at length on the WrestleTalk podcast predictions for the show. Even when presented with a 5-match card that was, at best, pretty good, these outside the US crowds are always going to be on fire because they don't get to see WWE on this scale on their home turf. We saw this last year with Puerto Rico and Backlash. We saw it with Money in the Bank and Clash at the Castle in the UK. We saw it 2 months ago with Elimination Chamber in Australia, and we'll see it again when WWE rolls into Germany for Bash in Berlin. There have been a lot of successes in the Triple H era when it comes to creative and overall presentation, but for me, the biggest mark in the W column is the WWE call to do these B-show pay-per-views outside the US. You put on this exact same show in Bumble F, Missouri, and it's called a good show. But you do this in front of a fired up French audience and baby, you've got a stew going. From the moment this show started until it ended, this crowd were loud. And not just the pops for entrances or big moves or finishes, they were loud for everything. They did not quieten down at any point. Singing Randy's theme, the football songs, the torches on the phone for Jey Uso. It was simply incroyable. That's French for awesome. And it translated into the wrestling itself, elevating what was already good action into great as the guys and girls in the ring fed off the incredible atmosphere. Case in point, these 4 men beat the living tar out of each other, and it was a great first showing for Tama Tonga in WWE, this being his first match on TV since debuting, and a good window into what we can expect from him down the line. It is still so jarring to hear Michael Cole talk about New Japan history, though at one point even said that Tama Tonga has had great matches with Evil. Someone's been reading up on their cage match profiles and clearly not watching the matches. The heels managed to get the upper hand through a Samoan drop through the table by Solo, and it led to the heels working over Owens for the most part until Randy made a comeback. His RKO to Solo from out of nowhere was fantastic. And Owens hit a middle rope fisherman buster through a chair bridge, and it looked like he had the match won when Tonga Loa, the brother of Tama Tonga, made his WWE debut and pulled the ref from the match. G.O.D. in WWE. At least, that's what we saw on TV. As fan footage of this moment shows that Tonga Loa actually messed up his timing and the referee hilariously pulled himself from the ring. Solo hit the Samoan spike on Owens for the win. Going into the show, the big rumor was that we would see the debut of new Bloodline member Jacob Fatu, who had told friends on WrestleMania Sunday that he had signed with WWE, which was then backed up by reports that he had fully signed with the company by the usual reputable outlets. PW Insider reported that he was going to make his debut on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago, but those plans were changed because WWE didn't need to rush him to TV because the Bloodline plans were mapped out for the next few months. Hence why we got all the fan speculation that Jacob Fatu would show up at Backlash. And all of that was the perfect smokescreen to keep hush the bigger news. WWE had also signed Tonga Loa. It's huge credit to WWE that in a day and age where almost everything gets leaked, they kept this one quiet. It led to a huge moment that made me leap out of my seat and a fascinating next chapter in the Bloodline. Following Paul Heyman revealing that he'd not spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania, meaning that it was Heyman that pulled Roman from the draft and not Roman himself, he, like the rest of us, clearly did not know that Tonga Loa was joining this rogue Bloodline. His selling of that fact was just as good as the actual wrestlers taking actual moves, as he even tried to protect Owens from further beatdown after the match. He later gave the most pleading, save us look to Jey Uso when he passed him backstage. God versus the Usos coming to a city near you soon. It also means that finally, all three members of the Rising are now in WWE. This was then followed by my match of the night, as Bayley retained her WWE Women's Championship in a fantastic triple threat match against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. Like this hot crowd, this was non-stop and a brilliant showcase for how good Tiffany Stratton is. She was a true star in this match and added a whole new dimension to the action. Her double cartwheel through to the Alabama slams into the announcer decks were the right kind of gnarly, and she rolled them both in the ring to take them out with the prettiest moonsault ever, but missed and got caught with a Bayley and Naomi 3D double team in an amazing sequence of events. Bayley then got a shock roll-up on Naomi for the win. A superb wrestling match made to feel legendary by this crowd. The same can even be said for Jey Uso versus Damien Priest, which, let's be honest, didn't have a lot of hype going into it, with many, myself included, feeling that it was a bit mid-card? WWE just had not done enough to make Damien Priest feel like a world championship guy before he cashed in his briefcase. Jey was stuck in his heatless feud with Jimmy, and he's coming off the back of that roundly and rightly criticized Mania match. But tell that to the French, because they went absolutely bonkers for Jey Uso's entrance, and they welcomed Damien Priest into the building like he was the true king of the North. The two had a fairly standard match that saw the usual Judgment Day interference, but it was elevated to a whole new level because of this crowd. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's true. Both men kicked out of each other's finishes, and Jey even had the match won before JD McDonough put Priest's foot on the ropes to break up the pin. Jey wiped out JD and Finn Balor at ringside, but ran into an avalanche south of heaven from Priest for him to retain his title. A fine match, carried by an awesome crowd. The only title that changed hands on the show was when the power buff girls of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill won the tag titles from the Kabuki Warriors. After Jade did that jaded transition she did to Sky Blue that one time, and Belair hit the KOD on Asuka for the win. It was a very good match that broke down for about 3 minutes when the referee stopped Kairi Sane from making a pin attempt because she was not the legal woman, and then let her tag out to Asuka, who he just said was the legal woman. It meant that they had to redo some spots, and it took them a little while to get back on track. And I think this moment is a testament to how hot WWE is right now. In any other era, this would have been a much bigger talking point and made fun of online by loads of hyperbolic statements of WWE is the worst wrestling on the planet. But in the Triple H era, it was met with "this is awesome" chants from this awesome crowd. That's not a knock on anyone, just something I find endlessly fascinating. And the main event saw Cody Rhodes defend the WWE Championship against AJ Styles in a "but I was told AJ was washed up" match. Shout out to AJ for wearing purple just like he did when he defended the NWA title against Dusty. This was a fantastic main event, a proper main event wrestling match. Both men brought fire and energy, and coupled with this incredible crowd, it was a superb way to end off an already great night. Cody kicked out of the Burning Hammer at one to fire up to get in a Kimura and hit the Crossroads for the win. Just one Crossroads, maybe this AJ is washed up, am I right? I'm kidding, of course, because this was probably the best AJ Styles match in years? His LA Knight match blew away all expectations at WrestleMania, but this was like a proper AJ Styles wrestling match. A reminder that he really is one of the best to ever do it, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, getting the flowers that he deserves. Backlash was a very good show made legendary by this crowd. Like Puerto Rico last year, this Backlash will go down in history as one of the most fun WWE shows I've ever seen. I cannot wait for Clash at the Castle 2 and Bash in Berlin, because you just know those Scottish and German crowds are gonna try and outdo the French. WWE Backlash is an easy 4 out of 5. Now go and check out the latest episode of TLC where we count down the worst wrestling finishes of all time.